rossibytes.
Code interpreter. This is another one that OpenAI has created itself and is just part of ChatGPT. And looking at this one, a lot of this stuff just is completely over my head, as I said earlier in the video. But it looks like that they're using Python interpreters in a sandboxed, firewalled execution environment. And it can do amazing things. For example, a brick weighs 30% of a brick plus 5 GPUs. There are 100 bricks and 200 GPUs in a metric ton. How much does a brick weigh? And it comes back and says, let's call the weight of a brick B and the weight of a GPU G. We can set up an equation based on the information given. And you can see that it's using all this calculation capability to come out and basically tell us the weight of a brick is 7.8125 kilograms. Other stuff that this plugin is able to do, though, is apart from solving mathematical problems, is doing data analysis and visualization, which is something that previously, when you asked to see any data visualization type stuff within ChatGPT, all it would typically render back would be like ASCII or tabular format within the UI itself. This is now giving us the ability to actually visualize data and see actual graphs within the context of ChatGPT. So we're going to take a look at the video that they have for this and talk through this one as well. Okay, so right off the bat, we can see the model here is the code interpreter, also alpha. And the first thing we're going to do is issue a prompt asking for ChatGPT to plot a function. I'm not a mathematician. I have no idea what any of this means. But you can see right away ChatGPT is getting to work calculating. And within a few seconds, it's actually going to turn back an actual graph of this and then explain it. So right there, that visualization is something that ChatGPT has not been able to do to date. So this is right away opening up amazing possibilities for visualizing your data. Let's take a look at a couple more examples. So next, we're going to ask ChatGPT to zoom into a range of X values between 0 and 1. And we'll see that the graph comes back, zooming into a range of X values between 0 and 1. Next, we're going to ask it to plot a tangent line to the graph at X equals 0.3. ChatGPT is calculating. And then we see ChatGPT comes back and plots that tangent line as we asked for it to. Next, we're going to ask it to zoom into the point of tangency. We can see that ChatGPT is calculating again. And within a couple seconds, it returns back the visualization of that. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to demonstrate showing the ability to upload a CSV with data in it to ChatGPT. And it comes up and says, great, you've uploaded a file named music.csv. How can I help you with this file? So we're going to ask ChatGPT a question about the data that's in this file. What are the columns of this data set? And as you can see, it very quickly comes back and lists the columns of data. So that right there is kind of like what we've expected with ChatGPT to date, is just kind of a text listing of column names. So next we're going to ask, how many rows does this CSV have? And it's going to come back and tell us that the music CSV file has 10,000 rows. Then we're going to say, hey, ChatGPT, can you run some basic visualizations on this data? It's going to get to work really quick. And it's going to come back and say, here is some basic visualizations based on the music CSV dataset. And it's kind of scrolled up past this one here, but you can see that this one is top 10 most frequent artist names, and it lists the artist names. It's got it plotted out on a graph. So the first one was a histogram of song durations. This shows the distribution of song durations in seconds. Then a scatter plot of song hotness versus artist familiarity. And then a bar chart of the top 10 most frequent artist names. Let me see if I can back this up to catch the other ones before they go by. There you go. Histogram of song durations. And then a scatter plot. It's amazing. So now we're going to issue a prompt where we're going to ask it to do some additional analysis on the data itself. So we're going to say, let's exclude year 0 and let's consider only years with over 100 songs. From that set of years, let's find a quantity that is the most positively correlated with time. It's going to get to work processing that request. It's going to come back and say the quantity that is most positively correlated with time in the filtered data set is song.loudness with a correlation coefficient of approximately 0.202. Can you plot that? Why, of course I can. Here's a scatter plot of song loudness versus year. Make an aggregated plot. Man, I forgot my math. I don't even know what they're talking about here. But as you can see, mean song loudness by year. So next what we're going to do is take a look at how ChatGPT can do actual functions on images as well. So we're going to upload an image. And it says, great, it looks like you've uploaded a file. Let's take a look at it. And then it's basically going to spit back to us the image that we uploaded. And it's going to identify what it thinks that picture is. This is a neo-modernist Python icon in the form of a digital painting. It features a stylized depiction of the Python logo with bold lines and geometric shapes. The color palette is modern and sophisticated with shades of blue, green, and yellow. It's a creative interpretation of the Python logo and a unique piece of art. So then we say, can you make it 4 times smaller than it is? And it starts working, and very quickly it spits back a version of it that's 4 times smaller. So then we ask, can you turn it to grayscale? And very quickly it spits back a version of it that is grayscale. Now, as a visual image video editing type of a guy, this right here is amazing that we're able to actually issue image editing commands in a chat conversation and have the actual chat bot process those commands on an actual image and then provide us with a result that we can use. Next, we're going to say, please tint it a little light green. And you'll see that it's now taken that grayscale version and it's turned it into a light green color. And now we're saying, now use OpenCV to select the foreground only. So my guess is what we're trying to do here is actually remove the background and only keep the foreground. So we can see ChatGPT is working. And we can see by looking, if you look at it real close, I'll zoom in, but up at the top here, this was where we had just turned it to a tint of green, a light green, and you can see like a glow around the edges, and then the black background. Now in this image, you can see that there's still a black background, but the glow is gone, and it's actually just, it's essentially traced the edge of the image out here, and that would be all you would get is the actual image and not the background. And then can you make a download link for me? And boom, there's a link that you can download the image from. Absolutely amazing. Great job, OpenAI. Kudos to you guys for innovating and helping create tools that are useful for everyday things that we want to be able to do with technology like this.
Rossibytes.